for our Santa's hat, for our bubble, we're going to use a 5mm hook on this kind of yarn, and we start with a chain of 25. So you're going to chain 25, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 25, and then I measure where I want my hat to fall, to be in. So I go around here and around here, and yeah, so for me my 25 will be enough. So but you measure your bubble, because you know sometimes yarns are different, and not just yarn, the size of a needle, and you know tensions are different from hand to hand. So feeling this is a bit difficult because I have difficult to see this yarn, so but I chain 25, and then I'm gonna try to fix it, and then I feel my first loop there. Gonna insert my hook there, and I'm gonna pull my yarn through those 2 loops. I'm gonna chain 1, and I'm going to the same loop that it's here, and I'm gonna do my first single crochet, and I'm gonna mark it so I know where I'm going. And then hiding that piece of yarn, I'm gonna go on my second single crochet. Very patient on this moment, and I do my second single crochet. Then filling it again, I can fill my chain there. I'm going there, and I'm gonna do my third single crochet. Okay, so feel where you have the chain, insert your hook, and do single crochets all the way around. Okay, be right back. I finished my 25 single crochet on my chains, and I'm gonna slip stitch to my first single crochet of my other, the beginning of the row. I'm gonna slip stitch, I'm gonna chain 1, and I'm gonna do my single crochet there, and we're gonna work around again the 25 single crochets, and we're gonna do another 3 rows. So in total we have 4 rows of 25 single crochets on this fabric. Maybe just another 2 rows to give it a bit of, just work 2 more rows on it. Let's work just 2 more rows, and it will be 3. So let's work 3 rows on total of single crochets on this with this yarn. So I work just 2 more rows, actually 3 rows on total with this yarn, and it's pretty much enough. So I'm gonna slip stitch to my first single crochet, gonna chain 1, and I'm gonna cut off my red yarn, and I'm gonna change my hook to a number 3. So let's do a slip knot here, and let's start. This is where I have my first stitch, so that's how I do it. Don't know everyone, there's different ways to do it. gonna pull it through, gonna chain 1. I'm going in each one of these, I'm gonna put 2 single crochets. Okay, each one is gonna be 2 single crochets. 2. 1 and 2. All the way around. 2 single crochets on each one of the row before. So we're increasing. Put your marker if you need for our first stitch. Okay, let's do it all the way around. 50 stitches. I've done 2 on each row, and I'm gonna slip stitch to my first of the row, chain 1, and do on my first single crochet on that one. Now on this row, because I have 50 and I want to increase and decrease symmetrically, I'm gonna have to have 54 stitches. So I will increase on this first stitch. We'll put 2 single crochets, and on the next one I will put another 2 single crochet. It doesn't matter where it goes, the increases, you put it whatever you want it. So I will do that. I need 4 stitches, so I did 2 extra ones, and then I will probably work until half my work just doing single crochets on each one of the ones that I picked, and then I will have to introduce 2 more on this row. So just let's do a few more, and then it doesn't matter really when where you put the other 2 increases. You can do 1 here already, so let's do 1 increase, and let's do the other one, and maybe the next one we will put it on the end of the row. So let's work until the end of the row, and I'll be right back. So I'm reaching the end of my row 2 in red, and I did 3 increases, and now I'm gonna do my last increase so I can stay with 54 single crochets, and that's how I'm gonna work on my next 4 rows. So on total we'll go 1, 2, and then more 2 will be 6 on row until row 6. We're gonna work the 54 single crochets. Slip stitch to the first, chain 1, and do your first stitch here. Well, mark if you need. I don't need it anymore because I'm closing the rows, so mark it if you need. So work 4 rows in total of 54 single crochets. Here, and this is my 54 single crochet. Now on row number 7 we're gonna do the creases. So we're gonna slip stitch to my first one there, chain 1, and that's my first single crochet. My second, third, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a decrease. The front 2 loops, yarn, pull it through, yarn, pull it through. So again, 7 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and on the 8 and 9 you decrease. So pick up the front 2 loops, yarn through, yarn over, pull it through. That's our second decrease. So our sequence on row number 7, it will be 7 single crochets, 1 decrease, and we'll end up this row with 48 single crochet. We are on the end of row 7, and we finish our row with a decrease. So on the end of this row, like I said before, we have 48 stitches. So let's slip stitch to the first there. Okay, now row 8, 9, and 10, you work those 48 single crochets. No decreases, no increases. Work another 3 rows on these 48 single crochets. So I'm finishing my row number 10 of, so we done 3 rows of 48 single crochets, and now on row number 11 we're going to decrease again. And how we're gonna decrease, we're gonna do 3 single crochets. So there is 1, sorry, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna decrease here, pick up the 2 front loops, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through. Now our sequence is gonna be 6 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there we go, 5 and 6, and a single and a decrease on number 7. So there we go. So that's our sequence until the end. 6 single crochets and a decrease on number 7. We should finish this row with 42 single crochets. On the end of my row number 11, and I'm gonna go to do my last decrease. I did my 6 single crochets, so I'm gonna do my decrease here, the last one, and I end up the row with 3 single crochets. So on the end of row 11, like I said before, we need to have 42 single crochets. Now row 12, row 13, row 14, and row 15 and 16, you're gonna work these 42 single crochets. No decreases, no increases. So we will be doing 5 rows of 42 single crochets, and I'll be back for row number 17 for another decrease. So work until row 16 the 42 single crochets. So I finished my row number 16, and I'm gonna start on my row number 17. So I'm gonna slip stitch here and chain 1, and we start with 1 decrease. So pick up the front of this loop of the where you chained, just a second. There we go. Pick up the second, yarn over, pull it through those 2 loops, yarn over. That's our decrease on the beginning of the row number 17. We're gonna work 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we're going to work another decrease. So the sequence is 5 single crochets and then 1 decrease until the end of the row. So I'm finishing row number 17 and I'm going to do my last decrease. Okay, so I finish with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's row 17 done. Now from row 18 to 21 we're gonna work these 36 single crochets. So row 18, 19, 20, 21, we work the 36 single crochets. Finishing row number 21 is missing me here 1, and we're going to row number 22, and on row number 22 we're going to do decreases again. Okay, so we're going to do 2 single crochets, 1, 2, and 1 decrease, all like this. Picking up the front loops, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through. That's our first decrease. We did 2 single crochets, 1 decrease. Now our sequence is gonna be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and decrease. Again, 1, 2, 2, 3, and 4, and 1 decrease. Keep going until the end of the row and I'll meet you right back. I'm finishing my last decrease of row number 22. I finish with 2 single crochets. On the end of row number 22 we should have 30 single crochets. Now 30 single crochets. Now row 23, 24, and 25 we're gonna work these 30 single crochets. So we work 3 rows with the 30 single crochets before our next decrease. I'll be right back. So we finish our row number 24, 25. We go for our row number 26 and we're gonna start with a decrease on our first stitch. So we're gonna slip stitch there. We're gonna chain 1. We're gonna pick up the front loop here, the second front loop, We're going to pull the yarn through those 2 loops, yarn over and pull it through. That's our first decrease. Now our sequence is 1, 2, 3, and a decrease all over. 3 single crochets and a decrease. On the end of row 26 we're gonna have to end up with 24 single crochets. So we finish our row number 26 with 24 single crochets. We're gonna work those 24 single crochets for another 4 rows. Yeah, it will be row 27, 28, 29 and 30 on 4 single crochets. So I'm finished row number, I got lost here. Row number 29, and I'm going to do row number 30, and I'm going to start on row number 31. So I'm going to slip stitch here, that's what I used to count my rows. And I'm gonna chain 1, and then I'm going to do my first single crochet here. I do a second single crochet and I do a decrease on my 3rd and 4th. So that's our decrease done. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet and a decrease. Pick up the front loop, pick up the second front loop, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through, and we do this all the way around, and we end up with 18 single crochets. If we do them right, that's how we should end up. Finishing row number 21, and we're gonna finish with a decrease, and that will be our 18 stitches there. We're gonna start row number 32, 33 and 34 with doing 18 single crochets. So 3 rows of the 18 single crochets that we just made. We just finished our row number 34, and we're gonna start our row number 35 with a decrease. So we slip stitch here, we chain 1, we're gonna chain 1 as soon as possible to start our row, and we're gonna pick up the front of this loop and the front of the next loop, and we're gonna pass yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through. That's our first decrease. Now we're gonna do a single crochet. Now we're gonna do another decrease all over, a single crochet and a decrease. So this is our decrease, this is our single crochet, another decrease, single crochet, another decrease, single crochet, another decrease, single crochet, another decrease, and the last one is a single crochet. On the end of this row we must end with 12 single crochets, and we're gonna work these 12 single crochets for 1, 2, 3, 4 for another 4 rows. Yeah, we're gonna work 4 rows on these 12 single crochets. Okay, so I finished my 4 rows of 12 single crochets, and I slip stitch on that one, I chain 1, and I cut my yarn. So we're gonna sew all these. We're gonna put our yarn through the front loop to the front loop of each one of these, and we're gonna fast off. Don't cut the yarn, okay? Just go on the first and fast off, but don't cut the yarn, so you can put your thing, how it calls, I don't know, rattle, something like that. See you soon. Hi, so I have my hat here, and I bought these rattles last year, well, off season, so I did get a few boxes. So we're gonna attach our rattle to our hat. I just removed the knot so I could introduce my needle on the yarn, and I'm just gonna do a knot here. Just do a knot like you normally do, just sewing, you know. I cannot even see what I'm doing at the moment. It's just going for here. Okay, so that's it. Nothing new about this. Do it again, pass it again. And then take your yarn inside. There you go. My yarn will be inside. Just gonna maybe do a small knot to make sure it sticks. Then I will cut the excess yarn out. You don't really have to, but just to there we go. There is our hat for Santa. For our bauble. So he's going like that. Then I'll be right back to show you how to do, you know, the ears and the beard and the nose, and we're gonna put the eyes. So be right back. So